So we're going to talk about all the options you have for grilling when you're camping or boondocking or even at a electrical campsite. So these are the options I really like. One of them I don't like, and I'll explain why. And one of them I really, really love. So let's get started on this. So this one is the Royal Gourmet. I'm not a big fan of it for two big reasons. One, this thing weighs a ton. This thing weighs probably 30, 35 pounds. It's really, really heavy. And heavy also means it's, awkward, and it's hard to store in the camper. So it's just big, massive, bulky, and hard to store. And it does require you to hook it up to a big propane tank. So because of all those features, it makes it difficult to use at a campsite because it's very bulky. It takes up a lot of storage. Pulling it out is very difficult. And you can see the thing weighs a ton. It says solid cast iron. But the benefits of it is this thing does cook really, really well. But again, I don't think it's worth it for going out camping with. So I'm going to say no on this. And I'm going to show you this one later on, why I say yes to that. But let's get to when you're camping at a campsite that has electric. So if you have electric at a campsite, this thing right here, 1500 watts of power, and I just love this. It's simple. It's got a little grease trap here. You can line it with aluminum foil so you don't get it all nasty all the time. And it heats up really, really well. It's a big, big surface. And I'll leave the links to all these in the descriptions. But you need one of these when you're using it though. And the reason why I say that is you can do your eggs on here just fine, flip them, you're all good. But whenever you're doing sausage, any kind of thicker meat, even hamburgers, you really need something to shield that heat, because these plates, they do get warm, but the air it doesn't let the heat absorb around the meat. So you need to put this over the meat when you're cooking any kind of meats. But like I said, for on-site camping, using the electric from a campsite, I love this. I do my breakfast every morning on it, and it really, really works well. Now, this I like for two reasons. It's a grill for your fireplace, and what's nice about it is, one, it's stainless steel. So stainless steel means you can throw this in the fire a million times. It ain't gonna rust. You can throw it back in your bag and you're all good. It ain't gonna rust on you. So you just have a nice stand, put it on the fire. You can cook up on a nice fire pit. I love that for that. You know how those fire pits are. The grills are never quite at the right spot. And if you're all boondocking, you may not even have a fire pit. So if you have a portable fire pit, you just throw this right on top of that. So I love it for that. And like I said, it's stainless steel. So it's just a win-win. And it was cheap. You know how I am on this channel. I'm all about good stuff, but at a cheap price. And again, I'll show you this in the description. It's a good product, heavy duty, cheap price. And you can see there, it's just nice and tough. Now, this is what I bought to replace this. And I'll open it up and explain why. It's just a cheap, camp stove. That's all it is. It's a cheap camp stove. And what's nice about it is, for one, it has a nice case, so I can easily store that. It weighs nothing. I can store it anywhere I need to. And two, it takes butane, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with butane. It has a lot of safety features on this thing. So it's lightweight, it's all self-contained, and it has a lot of safety features. And I know you're thinking 30 bucks, how can this thing be safe? Well, this is the problem, is if you have something like this and you have it hooked up to your propane and you're sticking it inside your RV and you have one of these valves on, you now have a gas leak. You have a gas leak inside your RV because you have this on the gas propane tank. You forgot to turn the tank off, and you have that on a little bit. Now you have an RV or a basement of your RV full of propane, and it just takes a spark. Boom. So that's what made me not want to do this, is that there's no safety features for it. are great anyways. So that shifted me away from that. You know, I wanted something that was easy to set up and I don't have to worry about it blowing up on me. And don't get me wrong, these, you know, by standard, they're not designed to blow up on you. They're good grills, but they're not designed to be tucked away in a basement of an RV. So that's just letting you know that. Don't do that. So that's why I like this. Safety features are really, really neat on this. Watch this. So you can't lock it into place, so you got to have it on lock mode to even use it. So I can't even lock it unless this is flipped over. That holds your pan. And now I can lock it into place. But like I said, with this over, you know, storage wise, I can't do it. So I flip this over and I'm gonna go get a lighter real quick. All right, we're back. Now, if you flip this over, now you can push that down. When you push it down, it locks. When it's locked, you can turn this. If it's not locked, it won't release gas. There's no gas going in there unless this is locked. So that's a safety feature that you're not gonna get, you know, I'm not getting propane everywhere or butane everywhere because it's not locked. So lock it. Now I can turn it on and light it. And you can't see it on the screen there, but it's warm. It's nice and hot. There's a good flame coming out of that. It's nice blue flame. I checked it in the dark. It makes a ton of heat. And the reason why this can replace this is I can put a nice 12-inch pan on here. And with a 12-inch pan, I can make my eggs. It has a nice rim for the pan. I can make my sausage. I can make hamburgers. I can make anything I need to on this little tiny grill, and it's safe. So look at that. Automatically disconnects the propane when I turn it off. I can't even, if I try to turn it on like that, it won't let me. I have to have it off, and then I can lock it in. And then you can light it. And then when you turn it off, it automatically disconnects the tank. I just love that for a safety feature because now when this thing is vibrating around in the RV, that tank is unhooked. It's not gonna leak gas in the undercarriage or in the basement or, you know, somewhere in the RV. It's completely disconnected from it. And again, I'll show you again. Locked. That tank is now locked in place. It's locked on. It's unlocked, so it just completely disconnects it. So that's why I love this thing. You know, this, I was really looking for something that was a good replacement for this because this thing is so bulky. And you know how it is when you're setting up your campsite. You have a lot of things you got to set up, and you don't need another, you know, massive 30-pound thing you're trying to drag out of the basement of your RV and then try to set it up. It just wasn't worth it. Now, you know, I can do a 12-inch pan on here and that'll do me just fine. It's, you know, it may take me a little bit longer to cook, but it's gonna be fine on the boondocking cases. When I'm on a, you know, a site that's electric, this is great. It does really good surface area. Boondocking, this is it. And look at that, watch. Locked, I can use it, propane's active, disconnected. And then you just switch these out. You lay a new one in just like that. When it's laid in, that's it, it's connected. Disconnected. So let me put this back in storage so you can see how easy it is to store. Flip that over. Put that here, here. Now, of course, you'd want to cool this off before you're storing it, but because we're doing this on YouTube real quick, we're just showing it real quick. And that's it. Look at that. Small, portable. I just love that. You know, look at that. Compared to that size, it's nothing. No weight. I can pick it up like that. I can't pick that thing up like this. So that's my cooking options. And like I said, you know, you're boondocking, this is a really good option and it's really cheap. That's what I liked about this. Campsite, this is great. All around boondocking, this is the stove. So that's it. And you like what we're doing, please subscribe and we'll see you next episode.